Welcome to the Toby Collums Show, brought to you by our friends at Kincaid's Fine Clothing. I'm Bob Sullender, along with the head coach and athletic director of the Madison Central Jaguars, Coach Toby Collums. Coach, thanks for being with us again this week.
I appreciate you having me.
Brandon Bulldogs came to town this week, and Madison Central wins 42-19. And when you look at the offense of the Madison Central Jaguars, Coach, run the football, and when you run it like Madison Central did, man, just a great performance. Vic Sutton, 3 touchdowns. But your man with the plan was Robert Dumas Jr., 20 carries, 144 yards, and 2 TDs. And DeAndre Pulling came in there for kind of a different gear when he came in off the bench. And so, man, running the football was really good this week.
Yeah, and that's what we said coming out of week one. It's something we didn't do very good when we played West Jones was be able to run the football. And made that a point of emphasis all week as an offensive unit. Really challenged our offensive line. I think, Coach Hendershot did a great job of preparing those guys this week for what they saw. And I thought we pushed Brandon around a little bit and did it early. Made some mistakes there in the second quarter, so we got to kind of get that out of us. But overall, I thought it was a great team effort, team win. I thought we dominated the line of scrimmage, and feel really good coming out of the game.
Yeah, your junior quarterback, Vic Sutton, was able to have 3 touchdowns. But I think what was really key, we talked before the game, Baxter and I did. We talked about how, we think that, it's going to be key for him to be able to pull that ball down in certain situations when there's nothing else there and use his legs to make some magic, so to speak. And that's what he did with those 3 TDs.
Yeah, he's such an athletic kid. He's long. He'll kind of fool you or surprise you how fast he is. Did a good job on, we ran some inside zone this week, something we didn't do in week one. And he was able to read the backside end. So I guess you'd call it his own read. He pulled it a couple of times and had a couple of big gains on that. And that was very gratifying to see, and then obviously pulled it down when things were covered downfield, pulled it down and ran, and did a great job. I thought he operated really well. He's only 5 of 10, but it was one of those game plans coming in that like I said, we wanted to sustain drives and be able to run the football. So for him to come out of it 5 of 10, 50%, and have 3 touchdowns was, like I said, pretty gratifying.
When you have 309 yards on the ground, you don't need to pass much, but you did sprinkle some passes in there with Blake Gunner and Isaiah Spencer, with their receptions, and so it did really well to kind of mix things up.
Absolutely, sure did.
Up next, we'll talk about what happened on the defensive side of the ball right here on the Kincaid's Fine Clothing Toby Collums Coaches Show right here on Madison Central Network, MC Big Blue, and Super Talk Mississippi 97.3 FM.
Quality, integrity, and excellence. Kincaid's Fine Clothing, Old Town Square, Ridgeland.
Welcome back to the Coach Toby Collums Show, brought to you by our friends at Kincaid's Fine Clothing. I'm Bob Sullender, along with the head coach and athletic director of the Madison Central Jaguars, Coach Toby Collums. Coach, defensively, the 42-19 win against Brandon, it seemed like they had 3 or 4 plays that were kind of just, plays that you wouldn't expect down the field for the Brandon Bulldogs, but the defense played really well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And coming into the season, we knew our defense was going to be a solid unit. And I think you saw a lot of improvement from week 1 to week 2, especially in the back end of our defense. Did a much better job with eye discipline, keeping their eyes out of the backfield, reading their keys, doing all the things that they're supposed to do. And I think you're going to see a progression as the year goes on, see those guys get better and better. But again, I think the key was they got a break. They got a break this week as far as because offensively we were able to stay on the field a little bit better. And overall, very pleased with the defense. We kind of put them in a bind there in the second quarter because we went after a punt there in the end zone, roughed the punter, gave them a first down. Then we had something unfortunate, the helmet-to-helmet 15-yard penalty. So there's 30 yards of penalties on one drive, and they're able to go down and score. We had a penalty in the end zone, which tacked on to the kickoff. They get an onside kick. So we went from having all the momentum to Brandon having the momentum right there in the middle of the second quarter. Now, the great thing about that is we showed how veteran we are. We come out of that. We didn't blink. We didn't bat an eye. We come out of that and we put a drive together and score right before halftime, knowing that we're going to get the ball in the second half. So I thought we played like a veteran ball club on Friday night. Just overall great team win.
You know, on the defensive side of the ball, Vic Collins had 15 tackles, Sam Rice with 14, Braxton Barney on the defensive side at 10 tackles, and Edward White really came up big, 9 tackles, quarterback sack, and a fumble recovery. So on that side of the ball, you know, when you control those trenches on the defensive side, good things happen.
Absolutely. It's all about what you do up front.
Up next, we'll talk about the Northwest Rankin Cougars. They're 0-2 coming into this week's game, but we'll talk about them coming to town right here on the Kincaid's Fine Clothing Coaches Show, right here on the MC Big Blue Network. Super Talk Mississippi 97.3 FM.
The right bank. It just fits. With online and mobile tools that give you the freedom to do more. The power to make your dream home yours. And help your business stay on top. Technology that makes one bank fit you to a T. Trustmark. People you trust. Advice that works.
Welcome to the Toby Collums Coaches Show, brought to you by our friends at Kincaid's Fine Clothing. I'm Bob Sullender, along with the coach of the Madison Central Jaguars, Coach Toby Collums. And Coach, it doesn't get any easier. You know, you look at the Northwest Rankin Cougars coming to town. They're 0-2, but losses to Ridgeland and to Clinton. You know, don't want to sleep on this team.
No, we can't sleep on them. I mean, this is going to be obviously it's a rival game. There'll be a lot of emotions surrounding the game, considering that, you know, that's where I spent the last 6 years. So I know that we're going to get their best shot. I know they're a young ball club, and they're going to be hungry for a win because, I mean, they've got the same goal that we've got, and that's to win the football game.
You hadn't been up all late at night watching tapes from 6 years ago and go, maybe there's something in here I can find out. Or
no, but it is a situation where I'm ready to get this one over with.
Yeah,
obviously, want to win the football game. We want to be impressive doing it, but at the same time, you know, ready to kind of move on.
Yeah, a lot of friends and family from the house coming into town. So, you know, looking at Northwest Rankin, it seems that they throw the ball a good bit. You know, only touchdowns this year, and their 2 games, their 2 losses have been through the air. So this is a passing attack. You're going to have to kind of gird up that defensive backfield.
Yeah, and I think we're expecting that. You know, Northwest Rankin, they got a sophomore quarterback that, you know, looked better from week 1 to week 2, obviously. So he's making improvement, and you know, they're kind of young up front offensively. You know, and the big thing, and we're a little bit banged up on our defensive front too, so we're a little bit concerned about that. But at the same time, we can't make excuses. I mean, we've got next man up. We got to go out and play Friday night. It doesn't matter who's out there.
All right, Coach. Good luck tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, up next, to the field. This has been the Kincaid's Fine Clothing Toby Collums Show right here on the MC Big Blue Network, Super Talk Mississippi 97.3 FM.